got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning and skipping school. That's the truancy about it.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And some room to roam now. The 40. He's at the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. He gets it to Thomas. 23 yards on the play. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again. And now it's second down. From the gun, Bridgewater. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception throw.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Alex Okafor in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. A carry for Foreman. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second down, Bridgewater. Completes it to Aguilar. He got 29 yards that time.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A gain of 32 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They come out here in the eye. They'll go with Foreman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it's 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Demario Davis. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the The Seahawks have recovered.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he floats one there, incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On third down, Wilson. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brendan, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
So after that sequence, if we're watching both teams' defenses, didn't it feel like a revolving door? One's on, they think they're off for a while. The other has to come on, they think they're on for a while. Then they're off. Here comes the other one. Just kept turning the ball over. They've got to cut that out.
Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Yes, sir. Delta.
On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Bridgewater on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Throwing is Bridgewater. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 42 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. On the toss, here's Foreman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to New Orleans after this. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Let's go get it, baby. Let's go.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. Flush to his right. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. A second down throw for Bridgewater. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And now running right through it. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
To throw is Bridgewater. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Delta. 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 Here we go. 5 down, 5 down.
First down, Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Throwing, Bridgewater. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will make the lead now 26. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
To return it is Corey Grant. So we've come. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically...
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8. The last time we saw 7, 2001, right? Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback.
And my goodness, another interception. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
14.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Alex Okafor. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground, and the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now it's the backup Prescott. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Demario Davis in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And the Seahawks on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And his first throw here is incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now they'll run it on the toss. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Second down, Bridgewater. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He's going to air one out. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They run again with Foreman. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here.
Delta. Go Delta. Go Delta. Here we go. 5 down, 5 down. Slam.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep here for Parker. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Delta. Go Delta. Get wide now.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans, and they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Get wide now. 20.
Back to it after the pick 6. Bridgewater. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Being chased out left. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now a toss play. This is Foreman. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
You got him. You got him. You got him. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey, 4 down. 4 down.
Again, it's Foreman. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well. Now Foreman. And some room to work. He's to the 10. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Oh, Wilson going to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a 3-yard gain, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And this is going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. One last shot now for Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the run to begin the season is over as they drop to 9-1 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. And for Charles